Clara didn't scream. She didn't even move. She just stood there, frozen, staring at the row of luxury SUVs parked outside her one-bedroom apartment. 19 people in tailored suits stood silently, each one holding a white envelope, and all of them were here for her. Just 4 nights ago, Clara was working the late shift at a local diner when she got fired, not for making a mistake, but for helping a kid who had no money, no shoes, and a silent kind of pain in his eyes. Hey everyone, welcome to Legacy Tales. Let's begin. Clara had wiped the counter 3 times, even though it was already clean. It was her way of passing time during the dead hours between 2 and 4 a.m. The only sound was the low hum of the fridge and a flickering ceiling light she'd reported months ago. Then the door creaked open. A boy, maybe 11 or 12, walked in. Dirty hoodie, socks soaked from the rain, hands shaking like he hadn't eaten in days. He slid into the corner booth without saying a word. Clara glanced at the clock. Technically, the kitchen was closed. But something in the boy's silence felt louder than any excuse she could make. She poured him hot chocolate, grabbed the last grilled cheese sandwich from the warmer, and brought it over. "You can eat," she said softly. "I'll handle the rest." The boy looked at her like no one had ever spoken to him that way. 15 minutes later, her manager walked in from the back office. "Mr. Harris." Cold eyes, thin smile. "What's this?" he asked, pointing to the plate. Clara didn't lie. He didn't have money, but he looked like he needed help. Mr. Harris didn't raise his voice. He didn't make a scene. He just handed her a folded paper, a termination slip. "Company policy, no exceptions," he said, walking away. The boy overheard. His face fell. He stood up fast, tried to return the plate, but Clara stopped him. "It's not your fault," she whispered. "It's just the world, sometimes." He left quietly. That night, Clara walked home jobless, no backup plan, rent due in 4 days. She didn't regret what she did, but she hated how alone it made her feel. Then came the knock. 4 days later. She opened the door to something she didn't expect, even in her dreams. 19 strangers, clean, calm, and serious. One of them stepped forward, a young woman with silver hair and sneakers that looked like they cost more than Clara's rent. "You're Clara?" she asked. Clara nodded, confused. The woman smiled. "We're here because of a sandwich." Clara blinked. "A sandwich?" The silver-haired woman pulled out her phone and tapped the screen. A video played, grainy security footage from the diner. It showed Clara gently sliding the plate toward the boy, her lips moving quietly. Then the moment her manager handed her the paper. And Clara, standing still, head slightly lowered but not ashamed. Beneath the video was a caption in bold. "She lost her job for helping a hungry kid. This is what humanity looks like." Views, 4.6 million. Comments, 298,000. And one pinned reply at the top. "We're looking for her. We have something she needs. M19. Clara looked up. "Wait, M19 question mark." The woman nodded. "It stands for Millionaire 19, a group of self-made entrepreneurs who vowed to find and help people who still believe in doing the right thing, even when no one's watching." Clara was speechless. Another man stepped forward, tall, older, with tired but kind eyes. He handed her one of the white envelopes. Inside was a photograph, a picture of that same boy, now smiling, standing in front of a foster home with 2 other children. And behind him, the same silver-haired woman from the group, arms around them like family. "We know him," the man said. "His name's Owen. He was on the streets that night after running away from an abusive shelter. He never spoke about what happened, until he told us about you." Clara clutched the photo, overwhelmed. Is he okay? He's safe now. But he kept saying one thing over and over, the woman replied gently. He said, "She didn't just feed me, she saw me." The group stepped aside. Behind them, a van door opened, and out stepped Owen. This time, clean clothes, healthy, still quiet, but with a small smile on his face. He walked up to her and held out something, a small notepad, torn at the edges. Clara took it and opened the first page. "You were the first person who didn't treat me like a problem. I hope this helps someone else feel that too." The notepad was filled with scribbled stories, ideas, even a blueprint. At the top of every page, the Warm Table Project. The silver-haired woman looked at Clara. "We want you to lead it. We'll fund every part. A place where people can sit, eat, talk, no questions asked." Clara stared at the group, then back at Owen. She'd never asked for recognition, never dreamed of attention. But maybe, just maybe, this was what her life was building toward all along. Clara opened the notepad again, flipping slowly through the messy, beautiful pages. Ideas scribbled in a child's handwriting, free food corners, conversation cards, maps showing places where people could go without judgment. Some drawings were crooked, some words misspelled. But the message? Crystal clear. Kindness matters. She looked at Owen, then the group behind him. "I don't have a degree. I've never run anything," she whispered. "Why me?" The silver-haired woman smiled. "Because people don't need more managers. They need more you." Clara didn't speak. Her hands trembled slightly as she tucked the notepad under her arm. For the first time in years, she wasn't worried about rent, or time, or being invisible. 2 months later, the first Warm Table opened in a vacant lot beside an old church. No doors, no menu, just long wooden benches, hot soup, and a small chalkboard that read, "Sit, eat, be seen." People came, first 10, then hundreds. Some brought food, some just brought stories. But everyone left lighter. Volunteers set up community fridges. Blankets were handed out with the words, "Because someone cares." And at the center of it all, Clara, pouring coffee, asking names, listening. News outlets came. But Clara never stepped in front of a camera. She always pointed to the bench, to the people, and to Owen, who now stood beside her like a quiet shadow of hope. And one day, while cleaning up trays, a man walked over. Expensive coat, hesitant smile. He placed a sealed envelope in her hand. "From Mr. Harris," he said. Clara blinked, her old manager. Inside the envelope was a note, short, handwritten. "You were right. I was just too proud to see it." Attached was a donation receipt, $50,000, to the Warm Table Foundation. Clara folded the letter slowly. No bitterness, no smugness, just quiet peace. Sometimes the world doesn't reward you immediately. Sometimes it breaks you first. But if you keep doing the right thing, not because someone's watching, but because it's who you are, the world will find a way to return the favor. And sometimes, it shows up as 19 millionaires on your doorstep.